Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to Sissy Spaces. I hope you're enjoying your day today and I want to thank you for sharing a part of it with me. I'm so glad you're here because today's video is a good one. I've compiled several of my most recent cleaning videos into one long Clean With Me marathon that you could put up on your TV, tablet, or phone and do whatever tasks or chores you need to get done today while bringing me along as a friend to clean with you. What's great about this Clean With Me marathon is that you don't have to stop what you're doing to change the channel. You just have that consistent cleaning, organizing, cooking, and laundry motivation with lots of decorating ideas. I've also included some cleaning tips along with some of my cleaning routines to help you end the year with a clean and tidy home. And you have everything you need in this one video to start the new year off right. I hope you really enjoy this one and it motivates and inspires you to do all the things you need to get done today. I also hope by cleaning together, cleaning becomes a little more enjoyable as it has for me. And as always, at the end of the video, if you're new to my channel, hit that like and subscribe button and share this channel with your family and friends. And if you've already subscribed, welcome back and continue to hit that like button. And thanks for your support. I do what I do because of you. So without further ado, let's get this Clean With Me marathon started. Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to Sissy Spaces. Today's video is part one of my Christmas Clean and Decorate series, and we're starting in the family room. So if you enjoy this type of content, continue watching. And at the end of the video, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button and share this channel with your family and friends. Every year, I begin my Christmas decorating by putting up the tree. But in order to put it in the right spot, I need to move this leather chair. And as you can see, I'm still sweeping up paint chips, dust, and dirt. But you can expect that after having major repairs and painting done. By the way, do you rearrange your space when decorating for the holidays? Space is prepped, I can begin assembling the tree. This is a 10-foot Westport fir tree that we purchased at the at-home store on a Black Friday 10 years ago, and it's held up very well. We keep it in its original box, which protects its stems and lights. We also use duct tape and bungee cords to maintain the shape of the box, but we do keep it inside the home, which protects it from moisture and mites. If you cannot store your tree inside the home, ditch the box and purchase a durable storage bag, as it protects it from the rodents and the elements. I like to lay each section of the tree out in order first to ensure I assemble it correctly. It came with the letters A through D, but some of them have been removed over time. I also use a throw as a tree skirt and wrap it around the base of the tree. This year I purchased an additional tree for my son's room, so I'll be giving him this throw as it never really fully covered the base of this tree anyway. To fully cover the base of this 10-foot tree, you'll need a tree skirt that is 52 to 84 inches in diameter. So I purchased 2 new throws, which each are 50 by 60. to fluff and add my tiny first star to the very top section of the tree before it's assembled. Again, this is a 10-foot tree, and fluffing the very top section while assembled is not only difficult but dangerous. Once fluffed, I'll set aside and keep it upright so I'll not have to fluff it again. And I'll surround it with pillows so Max, my fur baby, doesn't think it's a toy, because he'll play with anything. My oldest son will be doing the heavy lifting for me today. I was diagnosed with tennis elbow this past summer, and it's starting to act up again. We're done with the first section of the tree and can start on the second. Also, things should move pretty quickly now that Max is down for his first nap. Found the easiest way to fluff your tree is by wearing gloves first to protect your hands. Then start at the back of the branch, working your way forward. You want to separate the branches first, then shape each branch. After sitting in the box for 11 months of the year, the flattened faux pine needles and scrunched up branches, they create that bare patch, and you want to cover those up. To truly hide those bare patches, you want to devote some time to fluffing up each branch and fanning out the needles. Now, this is very time consuming, so throw on some Christmas music and make it a family affair. This tree is a heavy shedder, but I got it at a great price of under $150, and it's still in great shape considering it's over 10 years old. It's a pain sweeping up the faux pine needles every year, but I don't mind considering the trade-off. At one point, I had considered purchasing one of those woven Christmas tree collars, but I prefer these because they take up less space when stored, and if Max has an accident on one of these throws, I can just throw it in the washer. Now that Max is up from his nap, I want to vacuum the couch. He's done very well ignoring the tree. His first year with the tree was very stressful and it was hard to maintain. He would try to eat the branches and one time had an accident near it. I'm happy to say now that he's older, it's not as stressful and maintenance is a breeze. I also want to vacuum the floors before adding the garland to the fireplace. Max is spending time with Dad, which will allow me to finish the fireplace before dinner. I have pine cones on the garland, and I'm afraid Max will choke on it, so having him out of the room relieves some of my anxiety of decorating when he's around. I purchased all of the garland used on the fireplace from Walmart, and over the years I've combined 3 different styles of garland to achieve a full effect when hung. I always purchase new garlands, trees, and wreaths either on a Black Friday or the day after Christmas. This has saved me tons of money on Christmas decor. I'm using 5 command strips to hold my garland in place. Because these are 3 different garlands at 12 foot each, it's pretty heavy. I've doubled up on the command strips to ensure the garland is secured to the fireplace, and will move them around to achieve the look I'm wanting. As you can see, I'm fluffing the garland as well. My goal is to pull the faux needles down to give it a more realistic look. And of course the garland is also a heavy shedder, so I want to clean the needles up before hanging the wreath. I'm hurrying to sweep up the pine needles before Max arrives with Dad. Again, I'm afraid he'll choke on them. I'm also hanging my wreath next with the dark red ribbon I recently purchased from Hobby Lobby. The wreath is from Walmart, of course, and I purchased it during the after Christmas sale last year. I want to make a bow for the top of the wreath, and in order to do that, I begin by cutting the ribbon to the length that I want for my bow. I then staple the ends together. You can also add a piece of ribbon around the bow to hide the staple, but it's not necessary since the bow will droop. I then shape the bottom of my bow by folding my desired length of the ribbon in half and shaping it so only the velvet side of the ribbon shows. After making the top and bottom part of the bow, I adhere them together using a safety pin. By not using glue or double-sided tape, I can reuse this ribbon again. I also use the safety pin to attach the ribbon to the wreath. And again, by not using glue or double-sided tape, I can remove the ribbon easily without the sticky mess of the glue or tape leaves behind. Put up the tree, garland, and wreath, so now it's time to decorate the two side tables, starting with the larger of the two. I'm using the same mica vase I used in my Halloween video, but I'm adding these budget-friendly stems I purchased from Hobby Lobby at $2.50 a piece. I'm also mixing in 4 pine stems that I purchased at Joann's after Christmas sale last year, and I think they were $3 a piece. I purchased this tree art from Joann's last year at 75% off. It has this small dent in the bottom right corner of the frame. It's not that noticeable unless you look closely. To hide it though, I'm going to add these bells I ordered from Amazon. But before adding the bells, I want to change out this jute rope and add the black velvet ribbon I recently purchased from Hobby Lobby. I want to add the small matching mica vase next to the larger one to fill in the space, and the bells in front of the tree art to conceal the dent in the frame. I'm reusing these books I've had for years and adding this solid bowl filled with pine cones on top of it. I also want to add the fallen faux branches to the bells to give it a little additional color. I found these stockings at Home Goods 3 years ago. They were 3 for $9.99, so I purchased 2 sets. The first set I'm adding here in the family room with the personalized name tags I ordered off Amazon. The second set I'm going to place in my bedroom, and you'll see those when I decorate the bedroom for Christmas in another video. I'm also going to add a set of bells I found at TJ Maxx a year ago for $7.99. I'm adding this throw blanket I found at Marshall's last year to this basket, similar to what I did in my Halloween Decorate With Me video. Every night, Max and I use a throw as we watch TV on the couch. So this is not only for decorations, but for practical reasons as well. It's the next day and we're starting off by decorating the second side table located off the foyer. After dusting it, I'm returning my lamp from Kirkland's and adding the black large and small mica vase with some cedar stems I purchased from Target. I found this cute art piece at Walmart last year during their after Christmas sale. This smaller mica vase I recently purchased. A wooden snowman I purchased from Home Goods, and I'm adding a larger bowl of pine cones as a final touch. I decided to add an additional bell to the two bells that were already there, but instead of leaving it standing, I laid it on its side. I also wanted to add these nutcrackers I found at Dollar General next to the Ring camera so your eye is drawn to the nutcrackers versus the camera. And I'm finishing today's decorating by adding these cute holiday pillows to the doorknobs of my decor closet and coat closet. After vacuuming under this side table, I figured since I already had the vacuum out, I might as well vacuum by the back door, which is part of my morning and evening routine anyway. If you made it this far in the video, I want to thank you for watching Sissy's Faces. And if you enjoyed today's video, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button and share this channel with your family and friends. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Whoa, oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh, oh. La, da, da, da. Making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new. 'Cause I missed you, so I'm letting go of everything but you. These are the good times with you.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sissy's Faces. Today's video is part 2 of my Christmas Clean and Decorate series, and we're starting in the kitchen. But before we get started, I need to clear these dishes in the sink, which will only take a minute, so please continue watching. Also, if you enjoyed today's video, at the end of the video, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button and share this channel with your family and friends.
Making our Christmas memories. Oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh, oh. La, da, da, da. Making our Christmas memories.
In part 1 of my Christmas Clean and Decorate series, we put up our 10-foot tree, hung garland on the fireplace, and decorated 2 side tables. If you missed that video, at the end of this video, go back and check it out. In today's video, we're decorating the kitchen formal dining room, and home office.
We'll be singing all the melodies until the sun comes up. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and
I figured since I'm already here, I should change the theme on my oven from Halloween to Christmas. I guess you can say that's our first kitchen Christmas decoration.
Making our Christmas memories. Oh, oh. La, 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 la. Oh, oh, oh. La, 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 la. Making our Christmas memories. Yes, these are the good times with you. Don't even care what we do.
In my opinion, Dawn Power Wash is the best at removing grease and grime from your stainless steel sink, and it's quick and easy. You can also use distilled white vinegar mixed with baking soda for tough cleaning, but you'll need to wipe away all the water and buff dry afterwards for the best effect. Today we're cleaning with Dawn Power Wash so we can start decorating.
It's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire, chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, yeah. I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this
In part 1 of my Christmas Clean and Decorate series, I forgot to change my black pillow cover to this Christmas pillow cover I ordered off Amazon years ago. I don't remember the exact price, but I'm sure it was under $10 at the time. Also, I want to finish cleaning the kitchen by doing a quick wipe of these counters using the Wyman's Gretton Stone Cleaner. Then we can get started with the fun part of today's video, decorating.
Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand, you and me. Doesn't matter, it's Christmas in my heart. And I can promise.
We're continuing with our Christmas decorating by removing these wooden spoons and adding this faux fur Christmas tree from Target and miniature nutcracker from Pop Shelf.
Oh, and the sunset is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, and that's what we do.
I'm hanging 3 wreaths in my kitchen today, and they're all from Target's Christmas line 2 years ago. I love hanging wreaths on doors, windows, and in this case, my wall-mounted vent hood, as it's a quick, simple, and budget-friendly way of decorating under a minute.
This year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand, you and me. Doesn't matter, it's Christmas in my heart.
The garland I hung above the window is from Michael's, and it's 40% off at the moment, which will cost you a little under $11. And the dish towel is from Home Goods 3 years ago, and a set of 3 was $5.
Rain is pouring on a Christmas in my heart.
I'm hanging the same garland from Michael's that I hung previously over the kitchen sink. I love using this garland because it's soft to the touch and lightweight. In my next video, I'm hanging the same garland over the mirror located in my bedroom.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe.
We use this table at least 3 times a day, so I always keep the decorations simple and minimal. I decided on a small bowl of pine cones. The bowl is from Home Goods 5 years ago, and I removed the pine cones from an old piece of garland that was in rough shape.
It's falling down, and the storm is on its way. But as long as you're around, everything will be okay.
I'm hanging my third wreath here from Target and will hang a fourth wreath on the exterior door from Hobby Lobby. The front and back porches of my home are not covered, so I'm going to place some older wreaths there when I decorate the exterior of my home in an upcoming Christmas Clean and Decorate video.
To have you for myself in a cabin out of nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated everything till we're perfect for this week. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. Another year went by.
The kitchen is done and we're moving on to my formal dining room. I need to wipe the table down first as it's held all my Christmas decor I'm using today. Also, if you've been with me for a while, you know this is my catch-all area for any packages I receive, so it gets pretty dirty.
It's true. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I longed for this moment to have you for myself in a cabin out of nowhere, just us and no one else.
I'm starting by adding two 12-foot garlands from Walmart that I've twisted together to give it a fuller look. Prior to bringing it in here, I fluffed it on my kitchen island so I wouldn't spend too much time fluffing it in here. I'm also going to add 5 candlesticks from Marshalls and Home Goods, as well as Christmas tabletop decor from the At Home store.
'Cause all I wanna do is spend this holiday with you. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I longed for this moment to have you for myself in a cabin out of nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated everything till we're perfect for this week. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me.
As I stated earlier, I'm adding 5 candlesticks, and the 2 located at both ends are from Home Goods, and the 3 located in the center of various heights are from Marshalls. I'm also adding wax candlesticks in the vanilla bourbon scent, and those are from Home Goods. These reindeers are from the At Home store 3 years ago. They're made of ceramic and chip easily, so I'm very careful when storing and displaying them. The female version, which is sitting, has already chipped because I accidentally bumped it against my storage shelf. Because of this, I no longer purchase ceramic tabletop decor, but instead purchase the cast metal or wood decor you'll see in an upcoming video. These wax candle pine cones are from the At Home store, and I think I purchased them about 3 years ago. The wreath I hung earlier is from Walmart, and I purchased it last year on a Black Friday. They're selling the exact same wreaths this year, and I think they're under $17. The ribbon is from Sam's after Christmas sale 2 years ago, and the bells are from Amazon. After sweeping, we'll start decorating the home office. I had a hard time finding decor that would fit my color scheme as well as my budget, but I think it turned out great. I should have vacuumed the cushions as well. It seemed as if most of the pine needles from the garlands landed here, but we'll brush them off today and we'll vacuum tomorrow. I want to finish decorating because I plan to visit my mom later this afternoon. Before we start decorating, we need to dust these shelves. We recently turned on our heat, which has gathered dust over the last 9 months, and these shelves caught the brunt of it. It won't take long, so please continue watching. Now that we're on our last row of shelves, let's start decorating. As you can see, my color palette for this bookcase is brown, white, and black. And today, because we're decorating for Christmas, we're adding a little bit of green. This color scheme works for this bookcase because it's all white, and I've used a mixture of textures such as the woven baskets and ceramic vases, which allow each piece to stand on its own but work together at the same time. These two pieces are from Michael's after Christmas sale last year. The cake stands are from Marshall's, and the small Christmas trees and the black pots are from IKEA. I used my credit card points and ordered these clear glass domes off Amazon several months ago. The tall one was $20.99 and the small one was $17.39. You might recall me using these during my Halloween clean and decorate video. I want them to look the same, so I'm adding pine cones to both. This balances off the two pieces from Michael's that I added to the bookshelf earlier. These ceramic trees are from Hobby Lobby's after Christmas sale 2 years ago. They were green with hints of white on the branches. I used a flat black spray paint on them to match the color of the printer. It's simple, but it works.
If it's getting dark, yeah, we can go inside. Baby, won't you hold me tight? I don't need any presents, 'cause I know I have you.
I want to sweep the floors and shred to finish off the home office. Also, I've included a clip of my mom at the end of the video. She's 82 years old and is currently in the hospital after having minor surgery. Please keep her in your prayers. I'm so blessed to have her still here with me, and I'm looking forward to seeing her today. If you made it this far in the video, I want to thank you for watching Sissy Spaces. And if you enjoyed today's video, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button and share this channel with your family and friends. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
I don't need any presents, 'cause I know I have.
guys, welcome back to Sissy Spaces. Today's video is part 3 of my Christmas Clean and Decorate series. We're finishing the series by decorating 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and our split staircase. So if you enjoy this type of content, continue watching. And at the end of the video, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button and share this channel with your family and friends. Also, to support my channel, please watch the video to the end and leave a comment. I would love to hear from you, and I'll always respond. I mentioned in part 1 and part 2 of this series I had purchased a 9-foot tree for our bedroom. I did, but I returned it to Home Depot. Turns out it was too large for our space, so I purchased this 7.5-foot Jackson Noble Fir Slim tree instead. It comes with this handy remote and has 700 color changing lights, and according to the product details, it's flame resistant. I just hope I never have to test that theory. I'm clearing off and cleaning this fireplace mantle so I can add a Christmas village, but first I want to add the garland. I'm using 3 different types of garland from Walmart that I've twisted together, but unfortunately I can't link the top lighter garland because it's old. But the base of this garland are the budget-friendly ones you can still find at Walmart for under $5, and I will link those in my description box. I want to add a Christmas village to this fireplace mantle. I've always wanted to put up a Christmas village, and the idea came to me after visiting a friend's house years ago. Hubby and I were stationed at Maxwell Air Force Base in Alabama, and we had some good friends who lived across the street. They would put up the prettiest Christmas village in their entryway, and thanks to them, I get to enjoy my own version every year. I ordered these bells off Amazon, and the stockings are the second set that I purchased from either HomeGoods or Marshalls for $9.99. I hung the first set on the fireplace mantle in that family room. I didn't order name tags for these like I did for the ones in the family room, as hubby and I are the only ones who will see them in here. I'm moving on to our bathroom, and I want to add a centerpiece to our vanity. The deers are from TJ Maxx, the trees are from Target, and the pine cones are from Michael's. As you can see, we're on our staircase, which is about 36 feet in length, counting the top and bottom of the staircase. I'm using garland from Walmart in order to stay on a budget. I've twisted together 2 pieces that are about 2 to 3 years old. I've folded the garland down to give it a more realistic look, and will attach them to the railing using these twisty ties from Amazon. I only use 2 twisty ties per post because I use the balusters for support as well. After finishing the catwalk, we're moving on to the bottom of the staircase, but first we need to clean up the pine needles and the shells from the pine cones. I should have worn shoes when doing this because I can't count how many times I stepped on pieces of pine cones, and each time it hurt worse than the first. to store the rest of the garland in garbage bags because it all wouldn't fit in its designated bin. Storing the garland in the garbage bags did make it easier to place it on the top shelf in the coat closet though. I want to twist this old garland into a wreath and use it as an O for my joy sign I plan to place on my staircase landing. It only took a few minutes and it's an easy way to reuse old garland that you would otherwise throw away. We're now in my youngest son's room. I plan to put up a second 7.5-foot tree in this corner, as well as a cute Christmas display on either his dresser or his desk. But first I need to straighten up his bed, clean off his dresser, nightstand, and desk. I purchased this tree from the at-home store for under $100 using my military discount. It's a 7.5 pre-lit Colorado spruce tree, and it didn't shed as much as I thought it would. Unlike the other trees, you do need to plug each section together in order to get all the lights to work. I plan to repaint this nightstand next year along with the other 8 projects I have on my list. Next year is going to be pretty busy, so if you're not already subscribed, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button at the end of the video. I decided to add the Christmas display to his dresser instead of this desk. The top of this desk opens and he stores all of his school supplies here and will need access to them daily. After I'm done cleaning up, I want to switch his wreath from the back of the door to the front. I store all my wreaths this way, which helps them to maintain their shape over the years. After some last-minute touches and adding a star to the top of the tree, we'll move on and clean and decorate his bathroom. I want to clean his mirrors as well as the vanity before decorating. I want to add a cute display to his vanity in 2 wreaths, one on the main door and the other on the door to the toilet room. watched my Halloween clean and decorate video, you might remember this lazy Susan. I used it on our eat-in table and decorated it with a skeleton on top of faux moss. I love using pieces in various ways, as it's a great way to save money when decorating. I'm removing the faux stems from this bowl of pine cones because I feel there's already enough green in this display. I forgot to mention this earlier, but all of the wreaths you're seeing today are from Walmart. They're about 4 to 5 years old though. We're now in my oldest son's room, which is the second owner suite located upstairs. I'm going to add a tree wreath and a Christmas display to his bathroom, but first I need to tidy his bed and clean his nightstand and dresser. I plan to place this tree in between these two large windows. This is the third and last tree I'm putting up today. It's a 7.5 foot pre-lit Douglas fir tree I purchased from the at-home store years ago, and according to the side of the box, it was $99.99. For a budget tree, it's in great shape and all the lights still function. Getting late in the evening, but I still want to clean and decorate his bathroom, as well as show you guys what the Christmas decorations look like at night, so continue watching. Because of the centerpiece located here, I'm unable to add decor in the middle of the vanity, so I decided to decorate around it. It's something I came up with at the last minute, so I hope you like it. I decided to move his water pick on the other side so it wouldn't look cluttered once I add the decor. He didn't mind because he doesn't use it daily. These budget-friendly Christmas trees are from Joann's after Christmas sale last year, and these winter frosted pine cones are from Michael's. If you made it this far in the video, I want to thank you for watching Sissy Spaces. And as always, if you enjoyed today's video, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button and share this channel with your family and friends. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. guys, welcome back to Sissy Spaces. Today's video is full of cleaning motivation as I'm cleaning several rooms of my home. And I'm also giving you some tips and routines I use to maintain a clean and tidy home, along with some laundry motivation. So if you enjoy this type of content, continue watching. And at the end of the video, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button and share this channel with your family and friends. As a retiree, my routine is a lot different than when I was in the workforce. My current routine is to make my bed, get dressed, and start a load of laundry. While in the workforce, though, I would start a load of laundry as soon as I returned home from work and fold it while watching TV later that evening. Also, as a retiree, I no longer use fabric softener, but white distilled vinegar instead, and Wine Game Moonlight Breeze scented pod for each load of laundry. The size of one pod is the right amount of detergent you need for one load of laundry. Anything more is a waste. Today my goal is to wash all the coverlets on our beds and pillow covers in the family room. These are feather down pillows, and if you've ever owned a feather down pillow, you know you may experience an occasional poke from the quills of the feather. As such, I place a thick white pillow protector under my DECOR pillow covers. This keeps the feathers from coming out and poking you, and also extends the life of your pillow. Before we go any further, let's grab a cup of coffee. Later, I'll be performing my weekly maintenance on this Keurig, which is washing all removable parts. Tip: if you own a coffee maker and use it daily like I do, wash all removable parts weekly and then scale it every 3 months. If left unattended, things like mold and hard water buildup will leave a bitter taste in your cup of coffee, and it'll eventually hinder your coffee maker's performance. Vacuum this couch daily because Max naps on it at least twice a day, and I want to make sure I remove any pet dander, dust mites, and other allergens that are left behind. I also use Clorox wipes that doesn't contain any bleach to remove any occasional spots, and 3 times a year I remove the cushion covers for washing and use a disinfectant spray on the cushions themselves. It's important you clean your furniture regularly as it removes odor and other pollutants and also keeps your furniture looking good for longer. Regularly dust because most dust comes from airborne particles that enter from outside your home. These are things like pollen and dirt in the air. The rest comes from inside sources like pets, rugs, and sweaters that shed particles. So in short, to keep me and my family healthy, I dust regularly. When dusting electronics, I like using a dry microfiber cloth, but for items like mounted TVs, I use a Swiffer duster instead of a feather duster, because feather dusters just move the dust around while a Swiffer duster traps and locks in that dust, and I've also found that using one Swiffer duster goes a long way. Dusting the ceramic tile on this fireplace around, I always follow up with the Wyman's brand of granite and stone cleaner because it's a disinfectant and polish spray. I spray a generous amount on there and then wipe it dry. Whenever I run out, I mix my own, which is a combo of alcohol and dishwashing detergent, but that does leave streaks, which causes you to do more work, and nobody has time for that. I was about to return Max's toy box to the fireplace, but I realized that it was getting pretty dirty, so I wanted to vacuum it out. I remember when the boys were small, I would clean out their toy box regularly and sanitize their toys depending on the type by vacuuming, placing in the washing machine or dishwasher, or wiping down with soap and water. With Max toys, I do the same. While the pillow covers are in the washer, I'm placing these pillows back on the couch so I can clean this leather armchair. If you own leather furniture, you need to dust it regularly, about once every 1 to 2 weeks. You don't want to use soap or detergent no matter how mild because it will stain or darken the leather. You also want to avoid placing it in direct sunlight. My armchair does get a lot of sunlight, and as such I condition the leather weekly instead of every 6 months, which is recommended. I found the easiest way to do this is by using these Wyman leather cleaner and conditioning wipes, which does a great job of keeping this armchair looking new. Today I'm using the same duster to dust the family room, laundry room, and half bath because again, one duster goes a long way. I've replaced this blind twice since moving in this home, and I think it's because I keep hanging decor on it. I now try to be gentle while opening it to reduce the chance of breaking it again, although as you can see, I've already bent the stick. If you're new to my channel, we had our home repainted 2 weeks ago and I'm still finding paint splatters on the floors. They're easy to remove, just use something to scrape it off, and in my case, I use my nails, which work just fine. I just heard the LG musical jingle, which means the first load in the washer is complete and is ready to go in the dryer. There's different opinions as to where that jingle is derived from, and at first it's annoying, but you get used to it. I use 1 dryer sheet per load when drying coverlets and throws, and none when drying towels. I also use the sanitize cycle on all Max's towels and throws, and my pillow covers and decor pillows, because I don't wash them that often, which means they might carry extra bacteria. I rarely use the sanitize cycle on anything else because the extremely hot water temperatures that this cycle uses can be hard on clothes and can cause fading over time. Whenever I vacuum my rugs, I vacuum at regular speed first and then slow vacuum. When you slow vacuum your carpets, you allow your machine to suck up more dirt and dust. Slow vacuuming also allows the brush to agitate the carpet properly and suck up all the dirt that emerges. On my to-do list today is to deep clean my laundry room. I keep the laundry room clean and organized because it reduces odors and clutter. Not only do I clean my washer and dryer, but I also wipe down my cabinets and organize them regularly. These are stained cabinets, so I'm very careful on how I clean them. I use a few drops of Dawn dish detergent mixed with warm water for general cleaning and always ensure to wipe them completely dry. And on occasion, like today, use Pledge furniture polish to give them a little shine. When I purchased this washer and dryer combo, I purchased the pedestals as well, which gives me extra storage. I vacuum and organize them regularly, but I do clean this pedestal, which is located on the dryer, more because it's where I clean my lint trap. As you can see, I wipe down the trash container regularly and deodorize it by storing used dryer sheets in it. Also, when I'm low on my Swiffer dusters, I use dampened dryer sheets to wipe dust and hair off blinds, shelves, ceiling fans, and window screens. I'm taking a quick break from cleaning the laundry room to spray my homemade cleaner, which is vinegar and water and a tablespoon of Dawn, on the half bath, sink, and toilet as I plan to clean it next. By spraying it and letting it sit, I'm giving it time to work. I also store most of my brooms, mops, and dusters on a coat rack behind the door of my laundry room. It's an excellent way to save space, reduce clutter, while allowing for easy access. Whenever I dust a light fixture, I dust the bulb as well. A dirty bulb causes your room to look dark and gloomy, so dust the bulb regularly. The cleaner the bulb, the brighter your room will appear. If you've been with my channel for a while, you know I love using the Rubbermaid scrubber around my faucets. I also like using a Scotch-Brite within the sinks to scrub away any grime that appears around the drain. Our first load is done, which means I can fold Max's favorite throw and return it to the basket located in the family room. And then after that, I plan to finish cleaning the half bath. I change the hand towel in our half bath twice a week, not only because it's used by guests, but because it prevents bacteria from growing, which causes odors. We're now in the kitchen by the back door. I keep this large umbrella back here, as well as Max's leash and a jacket for cooler days. After the umbrella is used, I allow it to air dry before putting it away. Also, because this is a high traffic area, I vacuum it twice a day. I was surprised to see the trash was full when I opened it. You can count how many times I've changed the trash on camera. I think this will be my third. The boys are responsible for the trash, so you best believe they'll hear about this one. Also, as you can see, I recycle all shopping bags. I use the small bags like the Walmart bags in my bathrooms and laundry room, and the large bags I use here in the kitchen before I use the ones I purchase. You may have noticed that I flip the trash bags inside out before placing them in the receptacles. You can also place them over the receptacle like a hat and push the bag down. I clean my lint trap after each load using a used dryer sheet. And I keep 6 dryer balls in my dryer at all times because of the size of my loads. I replace my dryer balls when the felts start to loosen up, become larger and unravel, and I always use dryer balls because they speed up drying time, reduce static, and lint. As you can see, it is not easy putting these pillow covers back on these pillow inserts, and it's because they're fresh out of the dryer and need to loosen up. Also, the rule of thumb with pillow covers is to always purchase a size smaller than the pillow itself. For example, this is an 18 by 18 pillow cover, but a 20 by 20 pillow insert. By doing this, your pillows will always appear fuller. As you can see, hubby purchased pizza for dinner. Earlier, I had communicated to him that I had planned to clean several rooms today, so he knew I wouldn't have time to make dinner. This is one of the many reasons we've been married for 32 years. Our communication is solid, and we always support each other. One of the ways to eliminate rodents from ever entering your home is to dispose of food containers outside. Also, I only store my leftovers in glass containers, not plastic. I'm also prepping for Thanksgiving today by wiping down the top portions of all my cabinets. I plan to wipe the bottom portions down this weekend. Can you believe next Thursday is Thanksgiving? It's another reason why I'm cleaning my fridge and getting together my grocery list today. I plan to purchase everything I need today for Thanksgiving, so I'm ready to start cooking on Monday. Yes, I, like my mom, start cooking for Thanksgiving days before the big day. Also, if you didn't notice, I'm using a damp microfiber cloth to clean the cabinet and a dry microfiber cloth to wipe away any water. These are painted and glazed cabinets, so it's important not to leave any water behind. Where I keep the family calendar, and I've placed a copy of my favorite holiday recipes in it so I can write down any items I need to purchase today. The entire family also uses the calendar to keep track of any upcoming appointments and bills that are coming due. I print a new month and place it in the binder, and the entire family keeps it updated. As you can see, I wash my dishes before placing them in the dishwasher for several reasons. One reason is I don't always start my dishwasher after loading it, especially if it's not a full load. And if you leave food on your dishes in the dishwasher, bacteria builds, which eventually causes an odor. Also, by washing or rinsing your dishes before placing them in the dishwasher, it extends the life of your dishwasher. I let everyone know the dishes in the dishwasher are dirty by adding a Cascade tablet. If the tablet is not dissolved, the dishes are dirty. My coffee maker daily, so I wash all removable parts weekly and descale it every 6 months. I also change the coffee filter every 3 months, but use a rinse pot in between that. If you don't keep your coffee maker clean, not only will it damage the machine, but drinking coffee out of a dirty coffee maker will make you sick. I'm washing all removable parts in warm soapy water, and to speed up drying time, I'm going to dry them by hand. I'm using a Keurig rinse pot today because I recently descaled it and changed the filter. The rinse pods only clean the part of the machine that dispenses the coffee, so you do need to descale it every 6 months and change the water filter every 3 months. Each time I clean my sink, I remove the rubber gasket located at the top of your garbage disposal and clean it. It's a breeding ground for bacteria. It's easy to remove, and if you ever need to replace it, it's very inexpensive. This was my last load of laundry for today, and as such, I always prepare my washer for the next day by drying the sill of the tub, inside the door, detergent dispenser, and leaving the door open overnight. By doing this, it prevents a buildup of mold and mildew. preparing my grocery list, I want to clean and organize the fridge and freezer. I try to only purchase replacement items when shopping, which has saved us tons of money on grocery bills. I also always take a list and try to remember to eat before going. If you go to the grocery store hungry, you'll buy just about anything. I rarely remove these glass shelves, but I do wipe them down weekly. I also dispose of old food before it spoils and use up all the old before purchasing anything new. When I opened this crisper drawer, I noticed the paper towels I used to line the organizers were looking a little dingy, so I want to remove and wash them and add new paper towels as liners. Dry them by hand today to speed up drying time because it's getting late and I still need to wipe down the counters, vacuum, and mop. After lining these trays, I need to discard some of this celery as it's starting to look bad and update my grocery list because we are low on a lot of items. I also want to inventory the seasoning drawer to ensure I have everything I need for the big day. Now that I've inventoried and organized everything, I want to wipe it down. I found the easiest way to keep this freezer clean is by bagging everything in Ziploc bags. I also wipe it down occasionally by just shifting items around instead of removing everything. I try to keep all soap dispensers at least half full throughout my home at all times. This is a lot more economical than purchasing new hand soaps every time they go empty. And the glass bottles are not that expensive. You can occasionally find them in the Target dollar spot. I didn't cook today, so I only need to do a quick wipe of these counters using Dawn dish detergent and mild soapy water and a microfiber cloth. Now that it's getting colder, I like keeping fruits out for the family, especially tangerines and oranges, as it's a great way to support a healthy immune system. Turned on my iRobot to vacuum, so I only need to mop, which saved me a lot of time. Made it this far in the video, I want to thank you for watching Sissy Spaces. And as always, if you enjoyed today's video, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button and share this channel with your family and friends. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Guys, welcome back to Sissy Spaces. Today's video has lots of cleaning, some laundry motivation, and a huge grocery haul. By the way, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My friends call me Charlene, but my family call me Sissy, thus the channel name. I live outside of Atlanta with my spouse of 32 years, our 2 young adult sons, and our fur baby Max. I enjoy making all cleaning and homemaking videos and give you tips and tricks on how to maintain a clean and tidy home. So if you enjoyed today's video, at the end of the video, please please remember to hit that like and subscribe button and share this channel with your family and friends. Also, to support my channel, please watch the video to the end and leave a comment. I would love to hear from you, and I'll always respond. Today's grocery haul, which is located at the end of the video, is everything I need to prepare all of my Thanksgiving dishes. I don't purchase or cook the turkey, so that's not included in the grocery haul, but the total bill was still over $700. Hubby is purchasing the turkeys today, and he's grilling a smaller one and roasting a larger one in the oven. He cooks 2 turkeys because I like placing turkey in my cornbread dressing. Question, do you cook cornbread dressing, and if so, do you include turkey? My sister places sausages in hers, and it is so good. Also, what are your plans for Thanksgiving? I'm spending it with my family, of course, and I'm looking forward to eating all of my favorite dishes. Some people consider this extra, but every time I make my bed, I remove everything off of it, shake the fitted sheet, and tuck them nice and tight. Studies have shown that the average person spends 26 years of their life in bed, so each time I make my bed, I take my time. I want to make sure it's nice, fluffy, and comfortable when I climb in it each night. Also on this day is towel day, so I'm not washing the sheets today. I wash sheets on Fridays and towels on Thursdays, and a load of darks, whites, or colors on the other days. I've mentioned this before, but it's worth repeating. I fluff my pillows to break up any pieces inside the pillow, which allows air to enter, and this increases the pillow's volume and shape. Also, if you're experiencing back and neck issues, it could be your pillow, so fluff them first, and if this doesn't work, you may need to replace them. I need to collect all the towels next and place them in the washer. The boys usually do this, but my oldest is taking my youngest to school, which gives me time to do some extra cleaning. Because of that extra time, I was also able to make a grocery run to Walmart, Sam's, and Target, and I'll show you what I purchased at the end of the video. As I load these towels, I'm thinking about my cooking schedule for our Thanksgiving meal. I prepare all desserts over the weekend, which today I'm making sweet and spicy Chex Mix, chocolate covered peanuts, and Reese's peanut butter cup brownies. And then Monday through Wednesday, I'm making mac and cheese, cornbread dressing, green beans, and mashed potatoes. Also on Wednesday, I'm making Mom's favorite dessert, which is butterscotch bread pudding. I'm making it a day prior to Thanksgiving so it's nice and fresh for her. By the way, she's no longer in the hospital. She's doing great and staying with my sister. Loading me and hubby's towels in the washer, I remembered I needed to collect the towels in the half bath, boys' bathroom, and the kitchen. I also need to collect Max's towels, throw, and crate cover. You can tell I don't usually collect the towels because I literally just remembered. Also, we shake Max's crate liner outside, which is a microfiber towel, before sanitizing them. He's a medium shedder, and to reduce the amount of dog hair in the washer and dryer, we shake out as much dog hair as possible from his items before loading them in the washer. As I was watching this back, I was laughing because I almost forgot to grab my youngest son's face towel. And I'm always fussing at the boys about forgetting a towel because I hate having to wash an incomplete load. And look at me, almost forgetting to do the very thing I fuss at the boys about. Max is so funny. He hates it when I touch anything in his crate. And he knows whenever I touch it, it disappears and then reappears smelling different. He is a trip, but that's my baby though. After cleaning and adding fresh towels to Max's crate and the half bath, I want to collect and sort the rest of the laundry. I may have time to wash a load of darks before shopping. We'll see. Again, the boys routinely do this, so don't judge me. It may take me longer, but it's getting done, and that's okay. I was about to replace this laundry basket and noticed how dirty this hamper was. So before I put it back, I want to clean it out. I'm now going to spray down my bathroom with my homemade cleaner of equal parts vinegar and water and 2 tablespoons of Dawn dish detergent. I want to let it sit before cleaning in order to give the product time to work. And while it's sitting, I want to clean my walk-in closet. You see, after the painters left 3 weeks ago, my oldest son and I rushed to return everything to the closet. So today I want to dust it well. I purchased this mirror as well as the one above my vanity from Ross a little over 10 years ago. It's sturdy and it's easy to maintain, but it's larger than the usual mirrors and it's heavy at that. Hubby had a time hanging them, and once the painters left, rehanging the one above the vanity was a nightmare. I try to stay on top of dusting and cleaning these shelves. You wouldn't believe the amount of dirt, germs, and bacteria you'll find on the inside and outside of shoes. I know you shouldn't wear shoes in the house, but we do walk in the house with them on. And taking shoes off at the door never really stuck with my family. And it's a little too late in the game to try to reinforce it now. Most of these purses are leather, and at least once every 6 months I wipe them down with the Wyman's leather and conditioning wipes. Not only can you use these leather wipes on your furniture and purses, but you can also use them on your leather shoes. The non-leather purses, I either throw them in the washer and air dry or wipe them down with disinfectant wipes. As I was about to dust this last shelf, I decided to take a seat and organize it. My husband stores his memorabilia and supplies for his sneakers here. I used to store these items in a basket, but he kept purchasing duplicate items, so now I leave them out so he can see what he had. I was about to remove our first load of towels from the washer and place them in the dryer, but I noticed they were still pretty heavy, which means they didn't drain well. So I'm returning them to the washer and adding another drain and spin cycle, which is only 11 minutes on the LG washer. I'll use these 11 minutes to finish the closet and start cleaning in the bathroom. I want to deep clean this bathroom because the last time I cleaned it, I just wiped the surfaces with Clorox wipes and didn't clean the shower at all. Today I'm going to deep clean, deodorize, and disinfect this bathroom and spend a little more time cleaning the shower. As you can see, I'm giving this mirror a little more loving because I spent time off camera removing paint splatters, which left tons of fingerprints. I also want to wipe down the frame of this mirror because it was really dusty. I had already sprayed down this sink and hardware earlier, but I'm spraying it down again because I'm using this Rubbermaid scrubber, and I'm afraid I'll scratch the surface if it's dry. And again, I'm spending a little extra time cleaning this sink because I'm deep cleaning versus cleaning. I noticed my soap dispenser was running low, so I want to refill it and wipe around the ring of it because it was pretty grimy. Our first load of towels are done rinsing and draining, which means I can now load them in the dryer and start my second load of towels. This second load is going to be pretty large, so I want to wash them on the sanitized cycle. It's really not necessary to wash your towels on the sanitized cycle, but when I have a large load of towels, I always do. If you didn't notice, I always replace my laundry products back in the cabinet after using them. Most would think this is a waste of time, right? Considering you're still using them, but it's a good decluttering habit to have. If you continue to leave items out after you use them, you'll eventually have items all over the place, which causes it to look cluttered, disorganized, and dirty. Get in the habit of returning items as you use them, and you wouldn't believe how organized and clean your house will appear. Because these are woven baskets, I disinfect them between loads by spraying them down thoroughly with disinfectant spray. Before using these baskets, I used to use the plastic laundry baskets and wipe them down with Clorox wipes after each use. You can also use soapy water or multi-purpose cleaner. We rarely use this tub, so I dust it once per week. After it's used, though, I disinfect it with distilled white vinegar, hot water, and 1/4 of a cup of Dawn dish detergent. I also run the jets for 15 minutes before draining it and wiping it down. For those that have noticed, I'm wearing a compression sleeve on my right arm because my tennis elbow's been giving me problems. I've had tennis elbow and gone to physical therapy for years. I take care of it on my own now through self-care using the RICE method of rest, ice, compression, and elevation, and it works every time. I also clean smarter, not harder, using things like this drill instead of muscle to clean the showers, and the power scrubber I use around my faucets. And we can't forget the iRobot, which does a great job of vacuuming the floors. Mentioned earlier, I'm going to spend a little extra time cleaning this shower, especially these doors. I try to wipe the shower down while I'm in it, but I still want to deep clean it today. Earlier, I sprayed it down with my vinegar mixture and it sat on it for at least 20 minutes. That's why you see that soapy residue. I'm following that up with the spray away glass cleaner, and I'm going to wipe each side down at least 3 times to remove it. I'm also refolding my microfiber cloth so I can use each side, and when I clean the exterior doors of the shower, I only need to use the microfiber cloth itself without spray away cleaner. This saves time and use of the product. Tip: when cleaning the opposite side of glass, you want to wipe the opposite way. In other words, if you wipe the interior of the glass doors horizontally, you want to wipe the exterior side of the glass doors vertically. Just a little tip, but I play it by ear because I've been doing this so long, I can tell if there's a streak located on the inside of the door or the outside of the glass doors. My shower is clean, disinfected, and deodorized. I'm moving on to my husband's vanity, and I plan to do the same. Clean it, disinfect it, and deodorize it. already decorated for Christmas, check out my 3 Christmas Clean and Decorate With Me videos. I clean and decorated for Christmas in the family room, kitchen, dining room, home office, our bedroom, and added a little something to this bathroom. I also decorated the stairs, both of the boys' bedroom and bathrooms, and added wreaths to all the exterior doors and some interior doors. So for some Christmas decoration inspiration, at the end of the video, go back and check them out. I'm wiping down this vanity with a microfiber cloth to dry up some of the product from the Clorox wipes. These are quartz countertops, so it's recommended that you do not use Clorox wipes on them, but I do often, but I'm also sure to dry off much of the product as possible. Some quartz countertops may fade, but I haven't had any issues with my countertops. My first load of towels are dry, so I'm going to remove all of them except the bath mat because it's still a little damp. I'm going to quickly fold them and put them away so I can finish cleaning the bathroom. Fold my large towels and lay them flat in my linen closet. I tried rolling my towels, but that method really never stuck with me. So now I just fold them in half twice and then fold them 3 times for a nice, neat, flat towel at the end. Immediately after folding laundry, in this instance towels, I put them away. Again, the best tip to keep your house from looking cluttered is to put things away immediately after using them, and in this case, folding them. I think they call this the one-touch method. I don't know. It's just one of my cleaning habits that I like to share. The toilet, I want to wipe down the cabinets. By the way, one of you asked me if cleaning the toilet was the one thing I hate cleaning, and I think I answered it before, but it's okay, I'll answer it again. No, I don't hate cleaning the toilet, it's just gross. That's one of the reasons why I wear gloves. Also, cleaning the toilet is a lot easier than cleaning the shower, and sometimes the showers can be gross. Bottom line, I enjoy cleaning, so no matter what it is, I'm going to give it as much love as I give any other item. I usually wipe my cabinets down with warm soapy water, but today I'm going to use Pledge because I want to add a little shine to it. These cabinets stay fairly clean except the occasional toothpaste splash, and if that occurs, I always wipe the toothpaste off first before I apply the Pledge. I also make sure to wipe down the handles and the toe kick. The toe kick is the bottom of the cabinet that is set back or cut out. This allows room for your feet when you're mopping the floors. I like the idea of not having to maintain extra equipment, as I can easily throw these pads in the garbage when done, and I can store the mop away behind the closet door. I'm giving my bedroom a quick vacuum before I mop it. I turned on the iRobot and it did its thing, but I still like to run over it with my Dyson before mopping. After disposing of this pad, I'm going to change and run to Walmart, Sam's, and Target. I want to purchase everything I need today so I'm not fighting the crowds later this week. I'm going to show you the cold items first so I can hurry up and put them away, and then I'll follow up with the rest of the items. You can never have enough butter for the holidays, and I like using the Land O'Lakes butter. The green and red seedless grapes are from Sam's, and the blueberries you saw earlier are from Walmart. I use the silk milk in my mashed potatoes, whipping cream in the butterscotch bread pudding, and the half and half is for my mac and cheese. I like eating these Santa Fe salads as sides, and the boys eat these Tyson chicken strips and Ore-Ida crinkle cut fries. I need all of these cheeses for my mac and cheese and scrambled eggs. I use some Monterey Jack cheese, sharp cheddar, and mozzarella cheese in my mac and cheese, and I use some mild cheddar in my scrambled eggs. I need these buttermilk biscuits for my cornbread dressing, and the sausage links are a favorite for breakfast. We used to eat turkey bacon from Sam's, but we switched over to our favorite type now, which is the thick cut bacon from Walmart. Max loves to eat celery as a snack, but I also need some for my cornbread dressing recipe. I drink Dr. Pepper and eat these chicken spring rolls and egg rolls as a snack. I haven't had Patti LaBelle sweet potato pie in a year, and I hope it's as good as it was last year. Along with celery, Max likes to eat carrots as a snack, and these Bubba Burgers are a favorite in our household, along with these mozzarella sticks. I'm going to be using a lot of eggs during the holidays, so I purchased 2 dozen, and I hope it's enough. I'm so happy I cleaned my fridge on Wednesday because all I have to do now is load it up. I mentioned this last week, but I like to place most, if not all, of my frozen food items in Ziploc bags. which prevents crumbs from ending up at the bottom of my freezer. The Cheetos mixed with the Cheetos popcorn, and I also like mixing the spicy with the mild. I need these pretzels and cereal for my sweet and spicy Chex Mix, along with the pecan halves and peanuts. I was low on the spaghetti and lasagna noodles as well as the grits. I use these dry roasted peanuts in my chocolate covered peanuts recipe, and once I'm done putting these away, we'll continue on with the grocery haul. I told you it was a large one. I was in such a hurry to put my lasagna noodles away, I think I broke half of them. I used the red onions in my salmon patties, and we were running low on the honey wheat bread. I'm using the Sara Lee Classic White for my bread pudding along with these butterscotch chips. I was low on my chocolate chip morsels, and I'm using the semi-sweet chocolate in my chocolate covered peanuts. The Jiffy is for my cornbread dressing, and the elbow macaroni is for my mac and cheese along with the Velveeta. And I was low on brown sugar and oatmeal. I was out of descaling solution along with these water filters for my Keurig, and I needed to get some of that, as well as this grape jelly and Caesar creamy dressing. It seems I grabbed 2 boxes of the elbow macaroni. I only really need 1, but that's okay. I'll put it away for later. And I grabbed some of these beans and sweetened condensed milk. Sam's is having a sale on these items, so I wanted to purchase them now instead of paying full price for them later. We need to stock up on some personal items, as well as Swiffer wet pads, hand soap, Aveeno body wash, Moonlight Scented Breeze Gain Flings, and white distilled vinegar. I also wanted to purchase some more of these heavy breaded cookies from Sam's. They are so good, along with some oranges and mandarins for vitamin C. And I really needed to make sure that we had a lot of chicken broth in the house, especially for the holidays. If you made it this far in the video, I want to thank you for watching Sissy Spaces. And as always, if you enjoyed today's video, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button and share this channel with your family and friends. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey guys, welcome back to Sissy Spaces. In today's video, we're cooking two of my family's favorite holiday recipes and deep cleaning and organizing the kitchen. We're starting with our first recipe, which is the easiest to prepare but takes the longest to cook, and it's the chocolate covered peanuts. For this recipe, you're going to need 2 pounds of white almond bark, 4 ounces of German chocolate, a 12-ounce bag of semi-sweet chocolate chips, 24 ounces of roasted peanuts, and a 6 to 8 quart slow cooker and slow cooker liners. Everything you see here was purchased at Walmart. I'm not sure if they still have this slow cooker though, because I purchased it over 8 years ago. Also, I found this recipe online around the same time, and I'll link it in my description box in case you're interested. I make this recipe about 3 times a year, and every time it's a hit. So as you can see, all you do is add the ingredients to the slow cooker, let it cook for an hour without touching it, and then after an hour, you stir it and cook for another hour. By the way, the recipe calls for 24 ounces of peanuts. I added 2 of these 16-ounce containers, which equals to 32 ounce. The recipe doesn't specify the order in which you should add your ingredients, but I found it's best to add your almond bark first, since it takes the longest to melt, German chocolate bar next, semi-sweet chocolate chips, and add your peanuts last. By the way, the Great Value almond bark is vanilla flavored, and it comes in a 24-ounce block. I used 1.5 blocks, which equals to 36 ounces versus the 32 ounce the recipe recommends. I store the remaining almond bark away in a Ziploc freezer bag to use around the Christmas holidays. You then want to set your slow cooker to the low setting and set a timer for 1 hour. After an hour, you're stir to combine. Now the recipe says stir every 15 minutes, but I stir it after an hour because my slow cooker is old and didn't melt all the almond bark after 1 hour. So please excuse the shaky tripod. Max likes to play with the tripod every now and then, which causes it to shake. Next, I'm going to put on my favorite black gloves, which are disposable gloves from Walmart. They come in a 50-count box in a size large, and they cost $9.48. I wear these to clean versus the standard cleaning gloves because I found I wasn't disinfecting those standard cleaning gloves after each use. With these, I just throw them away at the end of the day. I also want to wash 2 loads of laundry today. I don't plan on doing any laundry tomorrow as it's Thanksgiving, and I want to spend that day with family, eating, and sleeping. This is a large load, so I placed distilled white vinegar in my fabric softener tray as well as a bleach tray. I'm still using 1/4 cup of Gain Moonlight Scented Breeze Fireworks and 1 Gain pod. 1 pod and 1/4 cup of fireworks beads is all it takes to clean, disinfect, and deodorize this large load. Also, I'm washing this load on the bulky large cycle, which utilizes extra water and soak time to ensure items are thoroughly soaked and the detergent is evenly distributed. And as always, I disinfect my laundry baskets after each use using Lysol disinfectant spray. We have our chocolate covered peanuts going as well as our first load of laundry. I now want to get started on my family's second favorite holiday recipe, and that's sweet and spicy Chex Mix. For this recipe, you'll need 5 tablespoons of butter, not margarine, but butter, and there's a difference and I'll tell you later. You'll also need 1 teaspoon of baking soda, mini pretzels or sticks, praline mix, and I ordered mine from the Savannah Flavoring Company website, and I'll place a link in my description box. You'll also need pecan halves, cocktail peanuts, rice Chex, corn Chex, Crispix, brown sugar, and Louisiana hot sauce. This recipe is an easy one as well. It just takes a little longer to prepare. To start, you'll need 5 tablespoons of butter. By the way, it's important you use butter instead of margarine because butter gives it a better flavor, has less ingredients in it, and is minimally processed than margarine. You'll then want to add 1.5 cups of packed light brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 cup of praline mix, and 6 tablespoons of hot sauce. You can add more of the hot sauce if you like, but stick to the amount of other ingredients mentioned or you'll end up with sticky, undercooked, or overcooked Chex Mix. When adding your baking soda, be sure you're adding a teaspoon versus a tablespoon. I made that mistake once and had to throw out the entire batch. Also, this container was once a wax candle. After burning all the wax, I cleaned it well and now use it to store my baking soda. I have several other used candles that I've cleaned and reused the jar as well. This praline mix is like gold in my house, so I use every drop. I purchase 4 of these each year, replenish as needed. As of today, I have about 2.5 containers remaining. On the SavannahFlavoring.com website, they're currently selling it for $13.50 for a 25-ounce bottle. That's pretty good considering other websites are selling the exact same product, same size, for $18.99. After mixing well, you want to cook over medium-high heat until boiling, and then remove and let it cool before you pour it over your Chex Mix. Now that we have the syrup started, let's do a quick cleanup and prepare the Chex Mix. As you can see, hubby has purchased the turkeys and he's allowing them to thaw in the fridge before tomorrow. This method takes time, so he purchased the turkeys on Sunday, which gives the turkey 1 day to thaw for each 4 to 5 pounds of weight. In other words, if your turkey weighs 16 pounds, it'll take 4 days to thaw. As a reminder, do not leave a package of frozen meat or poultry on the counter more than 2 hours. It can cause foodborne bacteria to multiply rapidly and make you sick or worse. Now that our syrup is ready, while it's cooling, prepare the Chex Mix. You'll need about 2 to 3 baking sheets or pans, not cookie sheets or pans, because baking sheets have rolled edges with a lip or groove around the entire pan, whereas cookie sheets do not, and you're going to need that lip or groove to keep all that Chex Mix contained within it. You can also use baking sheets as cookie sheets. That's why I only purchased stainless steel baking sheets. I'm using about 2 large ones and a small one. And remember to coat your baking pans well with nonstick cooking spray, which helps for easy cleanup at the end. I forgot to do that once and half of my Chex Mix was stuck to the pans. This recipe calls for 8 cups of Crispix, which was this entire box, 2 cups of the rice Chex, 3 cups of corn Chex, a half a cup of salty or cocktail peanuts, but I added 1 cup, 1 cup of pecan halves, but I added 2 cups of pecan halves, and 2 cups of pretzels. You can also add 1 can of Planters sesame sticks, but I couldn't find any. Once you've added all your ingredients, you want to mix them together and spread them evenly on your sprayed pans. Once your syrup has cooled, you want to pour or spoon it over your Chex Mix. I like pouring it down the center so I can easily coat as much, if not all, of the Chex Mix. Now this takes time. I think I spent about 2 minutes on each pan. If you don't coat the Chex Mix well, you'll end up with just dried Chex Mix. So do your best to coat as much of it as possible. This also can be messy. That's another reason why you want to use baking pans versus cookie sheets. And as always, I clean as I go. Quick tip, spray your used items with Dawn Power Wash or Dawn dish detergent. This sticky residue can be a pain to clean, so after spraying it, you want to let it soak. Also, I forgot to mention, preheat your oven to 250 degrees. As you can see, I forgot to do this before mixing the syrup in my Chex Mix. So I'm using sticky gloves to preheat the oven. It's a good thing I plan to deep clean this kitchen today, otherwise I would have had a sticky control panel greeting me on Thanksgiving Day. It's an hour later, so you need to stir the chocolate-covered peanuts. And as I mentioned earlier, my white almond bark hasn't completely melted, so I'm stirring what I can. And I'm also going to slow cook it for another hour. Oh, by the way, the recipe says stir every 15 minutes after the first hour. I didn't do this. I waited another hour and then stirred. It's been 30 minutes since we placed our Chex Mix in the oven, so we're going to remove it and stir it again. Then place it back in the oven for an additional 30 minutes. You want to do this for 3 reasons. It gives you another opportunity to mix it well. It also gives you an opportunity to check to see if anything is sticking to your pans, and you're checking to ensure you're not burning your Chex Mix. I burnt it once, and let's just say I made 2 batches that day. As you can see, Max really wants some of this Chex Mix. Of course, we don't feed it to him. And he's aware the oven is hot. When he was younger, we taught him that word, so he knows not to touch the oven. This is my second time loading the dishwasher today, as I loaded it earlier after breakfast. Hubby brought home some Popeyes for dinner because we discussed my filming schedule, so he knew I wouldn't have time to cook. These dishes are from that dinner, and unfortunately I'll have to wash for a 3rd time today because I want to have a clean sink waiting for me in the morning, just so I can load it up again. It's just the daily struggles of a homemaker, but I wouldn't have it any other way. These remaining items, I'm going to wash by hand. And if you've been with my channel for a while, you know I always wash and dry Max's food bowl by hand. After cleaning his bowl, I want to check on the chocolate-covered peanuts and give them a stir because it's been an hour, as I don't want to burn them. And I also am going to wash and dry by hand the other large items in the sink because I want to soak the baking pans we used earlier for the Chex Mix. Using a Dawn Power Wash on this sticky pot made it extremely easy to clean. Because of its great cleaning power, I only use Dawn Power Wash to clean my sinks and my ovens. And on occasion, when I'm out of my vinegar mixture, I use Dawn Power Wash to clean my shower and my sinks. This product really works, and whoever came up with the spray nozzle design is a genius. Our Chex Mix is done, so we're going to remove them from the oven and give them another stir. You'll also want to place the mixture in a large bowl to cool, and then after cooling, I like to place some in individual snack bags for easier access. If you sprayed your pan well, your Chex Mix should slide right off without any remaining. As you can see, by spraying these pans, it allows for easier cleaning, but I still want to soak them in warm soapy water to remove the residue from the cooking spray. And while they're soaking, I'm going to drop my chocolate covered peanuts on parchment paper so they can harden. There's no exact science on how I'm dropping these on the parchment paper. I'm just using a tablespoon to scoop them out, but I am making sure peanuts are included in each scoop. You want to at least do that so you're having chocolate covered peanuts versus just chocolate. And if you use the slow cooker liners, cleaning your slow cooker will take no time at all. I still wipe the interior and exterior of the slow cooker, but not as much as I would have if I had not used the liner. Also, I like washing and drying the top of the slow cooker by hand because I don't want to damage the rubber seal, which keeps it airtight. I'm now cleaning up and saving the remaining cereal to eat later for breakfast. I don't plan to cook anything for breakfast this week because I plan to prepare a large Thanksgiving meal. I like taking all large boxes outside and disposing of them in the trash receptacles. By doing this, it reduces the amount of rodents in your home and reserves space in your interior trash bins. This also saves you time and money when replacing garbage bags. I just heard the jingle on our LG washer, so that means our first load is done. So I want to place them in the dryer before we finish our sweet and sour Chex Mix. all the Chex Mix in these Ziploc sandwich bags. You don't necessarily have to do this. You can keep them in a large covered bowl, but I do this for convenience. By the way, I'm using quart-sized Ziploc sandwich bags versus a quart-sized freezer bags. There is a difference. The Ziploc freezer bags are thicker than the Ziploc sandwich bags, which makes them tougher and more durable. You can use the Ziploc sandwich bags in the freezer, but it depends on what you're freezing and for how long. There's also the Ziploc snack bags, which are very similar to the Ziploc sandwich bags, but are half the size. Now that our chocolate-covered peanuts and sweet and spicy Chex Mix is complete, we can start with the cleaning portion of today's video, and we're starting here with our kitchen eat-in table. This table is used all day for eating, doing homework, and I do my voiceovers here because the ceiling is lower here than any other area of the home, which provides better acoustics. Needless to say, it needs to be cleaned at least daily. I like using Pledge, which cleans, conditions the wood, and also gives it a little shine. These pans were easy to clean because we soaked them in warm soapy water for over 15 minutes, and I only need to use light scrubbing to remove the cooking spray. After this, I'm going to prep the oven by spraying the interior door and sides with Dawn Power Wash and letting it sit before wiping it away. I'm also going to heat a bowl of water in the microwave to loosen up any hardened foods, which will allow me to easily wipe it clean. I'm using the Wyman stainless steel cleaner and polish on my stainless steel appliances by applying it to a microfiber cloth instead of directly to the appliance itself. A little goes a long way, as you'll see today when I clean all of my large and small stainless steel appliances. Dishwasher gets a lot of water spots from the sink as we wash and load the dishes. You may not be able to see it here, but I'm wiping away tons of streaks and spots in no time with just a small amount of Wyman stainless steel cleaner and polish. Power Wash has had time to work, so we can now wipe it away. I wipe this bottom oven after each use, so it's easy to maintain. If you don't clean your oven after each use, you may want to leave your Dawn Power Wash spray to sit overnight. Also, I only sprayed the interior door, bottom of the oven, and sides. You don't want to spray the back of this oven, as it will damage the cooling fan. And if you have double ovens, use the bottom oven more frequently than the top. This will prevent your control panel from overheating and needing to be replaced, which can be very expensive. Also, after reviewing this footage, I noticed I placed the top rack back in the oven incorrectly. It has since been corrected. I'm going to wipe the top oven even though it hasn't been used in months. I want to wipe away any residue caused by heat from the bottom oven. Also, these liners are great at protecting the bottom of your oven. I'll have them linked in my description box. By boiling water in the microwave, the steam helps break down those set-in stains and any stubborn food splatters that have hardened, and now I can easily wipe it away. I also want to clean my prep sink using the Dawn Power Wash. We use this mostly to clean produce, but it still needs to be cleaned just as often as the main sink or it'll begin to smell. This cooktop is not in bad shape, but I do want to wipe it down with a wet soapy microfiber cloth to remove any stains. Sometimes I use Clorox wipe to remove quick spills when cooking, and I'm also going to use the same microfiber cloth used on my other stainless steel appliances to clean the stainless steel portion of this cooktop. Now that our large appliances are clean, we're moving on to our smaller ones. I clean and empty this toaster weekly. It's easy to do, just remove the crumb trays, wipe them clean, and replace. If you don't clean your crumb trays as often as I do, you may also want to shake your toaster over the trash to remove any additional crumbs. Also, this handy cord organizer is from Amazon. I'll have it linked in my description box in case you're interested. Our chocolate covered peanuts have now hardened so we can store them away. I like placing them in this glass covered tray, and sometimes I store them in Ziploc bags because they don't last long in our household. I plan to clean the counters next. You may not see it, but there's Chex Mix syrup and chocolate on the counters, and I want to clean it off before it has time to harden and settle in the granite. I'm using the Wyman's Granite and Stone Cleaner, which will wipe those stains away easily. I'm going to spend a little more time cleaning these counters because they are pretty dirty. Also, it's getting late in the evening, but I still need to clean the floors and fold our first load of laundry. Also, wash, dry, and fold our second load of laundry. I'm not going to stop though because I want to complete all these tasks so I can wake up to a clean, fresh kitchen. Enough wipes for a full load, so I'm going to go ahead and load those in the washer. And also, for the sake of time, I folded my first load off camera. After disinfecting the laundry basket, I want to finish cleaning the kitchen countertops, vacuum, and mop the floors. I had also planned to clean the dining room in preparation for tomorrow, but I might just save that until tomorrow morning. Boys eat at this island when I'm doing voiceovers at the table, so there's always tons of crumbs stuck on the leather binder and left on the counters. The grain of these countertops hide the crumbs very well, but if you look at these counters at eye level, you'll be surprised at just how dirty they really are. Now that the counters are done, we can start on the floors. I swept up most of the Chex Mix before vacuuming and before Max could eat them, but I also want to vacuum these floors using my Dickerson to remove as many small crumbs left behind. And as usual, I want to sweep and vacuum by the back door as it is a high traffic area. I usually move this table to vacuum underneath it, but I wasn't able to because I didn't want to aggravate my tennis elbow. So I decided to vacuum around it and show you just how dirty it really gets. These bar stools are pretty light, so I didn't have any problems moving those. Also, most visitors think I purchased the table, chairs, and bar stools as a set, but they were all purchased from different stores. For instance, the bar stools are from Amazon, the table is from Wayfair, and the chairs are from 2 different home goods stores. By the way, if you're new to my channel, this is a Dyson V15 Detect vacuum with the laser detection light. I purchased a vacuum over a year ago and absolutely love it. I was checking the Dyson website recently and they currently have it on sale $200 less than on what I paid for it. So if you're in need of a powerful suction handheld vacuum, you might want to check the Dyson website out. If you made it this far in the video, I want to thank you for watching Sissy Spaces. And as always, if you enjoyed today's video, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button and share this channel with your family and friends. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey guys, welcome back to Sissy Spaces. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving and was able to share it with your family and those you love. By the way, did you do any Black Friday shopping? And if so, what were some of your favorite purchases? Unfortunately, I didn't do any Black Friday shopping. On Friday, I was working on today's video, which is full of cleaning and laundry motivation, cooking, and more. It was filmed over multiple days, and I've included video of our Thanksgiving meal prep. So if you enjoy this type of content, continue watching. And at the end of the video, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button and share this channel with your family and friends. Also leave a comment. I would love to hear from you, and I'll always respond. Cleaned this door in a while, and I was embarrassed to see how bad it looked after meeting my next door neighbor for the first time. And while I was outside cleaning, she asked me to come over and help her clean. Look, don't get it twisted. I love cleaning, but not that much. We had these storm doors installed by Lowe's years ago. They protect our main door, which is made of wood, from all types of weather damage. It also allows for more natural light in the foyer because I can leave the front door open, and it saves energy because it helps insulate our front entry against air leaks. A really old wreath from Hobby Lobby. I display it here because our front porch is not covered, and I'm okay with it getting beat up from the weather versus my new, more expensive one. I do need to touch up the bells though, and I'll add it to my project list for the upcoming year. I think I have 12 projects on my list for next year, so if you haven't already subscribed, do so today so you don't miss out on those DIYs. I plan to do some shopping tomorrow on Cyber Monday. It's a few things I added to my wish list over the past year, so I'm hoping they're available. If not, I'll wait until next year. What I lack in money, I make up for with patience. On this day, I plan to clean my foyer, dining room, office, half bath, and family room. I also had 5 loads of laundry that needed to be completed, and guess what? I got it all done, along with prepping for Thanksgiving. I was so tired when my head hit the pillow that evening. That was the first time I slept a full 8 hours in a long time. So we just cleaned and tidied the foyer in the dining room, and we're now in the office. I'm starting with the windows because along with dusting them, I want to check to ensure none are leaking. After having all of them repaired and sealed, I want to make sure there aren't any leaks considering all the rain we had recently in our area. I also want to dust our bookcase. Most of the items I'll be shopping for tomorrow are bookcase decor. I'm hoping the items that were out of my reach earlier this month are now within budget. I saw this black bookend at Home Goods that was shaped like a statue. It will look great in this spot. I'm scouring the website tomorrow to see if I can find something similar at a lesser price. I used to store me and hubby's laptops on this desk, but it was beginning to look a little cluttered. So I moved them to the bottom shelves of the bookcase, and I think I'm going to keep them there because it's easy to retrieve when needed, and that's 2 less things I need to purchase to fill the shelves of this bookcase. I want to finish vacuuming the office by hand, even though the iRobot is still going. Max sleeps in here, so there's always tons of dog hair all over the place. We'll finish the office, shred today's mail, then we'll clean the half bath. The half bath is not that bad, but I always clean it around the holidays. I was raised to believe that your home should always be presentable to guests. So along with cleaning the front of the house, I want to ensure the half bath, family room, and kitchen are cleaned as well, considering that's what your guests see when they visit. I'm only using Clorox wipes on the sink and toilet today because I'm giving them a quick clean versus a deep clean. I'm also going to vacuum the half bath today as well. The iRobot always skips over the half bath. I read that I need to set it to map out the house, something I never did with this one. The new iRobot automatically does this the first time you use it. This one that I have is over 10 years old and has to be set manually. Question: have you started or finished decorating for the holidays? I'm done except for trimming a tree. The family and I will do this as we get closer to the holidays. I may also change up some of the decor by adding new finds. If I do, I'll let you know. I had already placed a load of darks in the washer but didn't film it. I also forgot to turn on the camera when adding my laundry detergent, but I did remember later in the video. As a reminder, we have 5 loads to complete today, so there's plenty of laundry motivation throughout the video. On my to-do list for next year is replacing several broken blinds throughout our home. This blind on my right is broken, and every time I need to clean the opposite side, I have to use a step ladder to flip the slats manually as the stick is bent and doesn't work sometimes, like today. I usually wipe this leather chair down with Wyman's leather wipes, but it still looks great after using the wipes on it 2 weeks ago. I'm picking up Max's toys early because I want to vacuum these floors. I usually leave his toys out until bedtime, but I want to finish this family room before cleaning the kitchen. The spots off this couch using Clorox wipes, but I placed the Bissell little green portable carpet cleaner in my Walmart cart, and once it arrives, I'll let you know. I love a choppy pillow, and these feathered down pillows from Amazon are my favorite. I'm still slow vacuuming over this carpet. Besides the small carpets located by the back door and the garage door, it's the only other carpet in my home. It's over 5 years old and I ordered it off Amazon. As you can see from this tray, I've been slowly sanding it down. I found the walnut stain that I like and hopefully will refinish it before the start of the new year. This area area is located by the back door, and as you can see, it gets pretty dirty throughout the day. I stay on top of it by sweeping it in the mornings and vacuuming it in the evenings. I vacuum the floors in my home at least every other day, and I run the iRobot every day, but as you can see, they were still full of Max's dog hair, as well as the dirt and grime that we track in the house from outside. This is Thanksgiving Eve, and I'm prepping Mom's sweet potato souffle as well as her bread pudding she requested. I was not going to include this footage in today's video, but I figured someone would appreciate it. I'm not going to talk through each recipe, but I'll give a few points here and there. I've also included each recipe in my description box in case you're interested. Making butterscotch bread pudding. It consists of 10.5 ounces of day-old or white bread, 4 cups of milk, 2 cups of brown sugar, a half a cup of melted butter, 3 beaten eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 1 cup of butterscotch chips. You combine all the ingredients, place it in a 350-degree oven for 1 hour, and you can serve it warm or cold. So for the main portion of the sweet potato souffle, you'll need 4 large sweet potatoes, a half a cup of butter softened, 1 cup of brown sugar, a fourth of a cup of granulated or white sugar, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 2 eggs, a half a cup of whole milk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a fourth of a teaspoon of salt. As you can see, I made a few substitutions, but as a reminder, I'll link this recipe in my description box. Also, for the topping, you'll need 2/3 a cup of a light brown sugar, a half a cup of all-purpose flour, a fourth of a teaspoon of kosher salt, a fourth of a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1.5 cups of pecan halves, and 5 tablespoons of melted butter. Although it may not look like it in the video, I am washing the gloves anytime I leave the kitchen and before touching any food. As you saw earlier, I skinned my sweet potatoes, wrapped them in foil, and cooked them for 1.5 hours. If you want it done faster, leave the skin on, poke holes in them, and rub them with olive oil, then cook for 45 minutes versus the 1.5 hours. You can also use this recipe to make a sweet potato pie. You'll need to add the pie crust and delete the topping. placing the sweet potato souffle in a 350-degree heated oven for 55 minutes. I begin prepping the veggies for our vegetable medley and cornbread dressing. It doesn't show on video, but I did rinse each veggie after they soaked in the vinegar mixture for a few minutes. I did forget to skin the carrots this day, but did skin them the following day. Placing a second load in the washer, and I forgot to film adding my detergents and first load, but I remembered on this load. Those that are new to my channel, I use white distilled vinegar instead of fabric softener, 1 Moonlight Scented Breeze Game Pod, and 1/4 cup of Game Moonlight Scented Breeze firework beads per load. We're back in the kitchen, and of course I wash my hands. I'm prepping my potatoes for the garlic mashed potatoes. I skinned and washed them, and I boiled them until they were soft, mashed them and added the butter, milk, salt, pepper, but forgot to add the garlic. This is still Thanksgiving Eve, and I'm washing my first load of dishes. I washed and dried all the large items by hand and placed the other items in the dishwasher. On this day, I think I washed dishes about 3 times. Two of these KitchenAid mixing bowls as well as 15 attachments. I've had the mixer for years, and I think I've only used 3 of the attachments, but I do use all 3 of these mixing bowls at least twice a week. I purchased them from Sam's, and they came without the lids. I'm sure you can find some very similar with lids, but I don't really use the bowls for storing. I use them for mixing only, so I really don't need the lids. Now that my large items are out of the way, I'm washing and loading my small items in the dishwasher. I'm also going to wash and dry my cutting board, pan, and knives by hand and then store them away, just so I can pull them out again in a few hours. Don't judge me. My mashed potatoes are done, so I'm going to strain them in this prep sink. That probably wasn't a good idea because it doesn't have a garbage disposal, so the food will just sit over time and begin to smell. I'm going to give it a good wash, and if I notice a smell over time, I'll use baking soda, hot water, and vinegar to clear it out. Our second load is done washing, so I'm going to place them in the dryer with one Gain Light Moonlight Scented Breeze dryer sheet. I've found since I started using the Gain Firework beads that I only need to use one dryer sheet per load. Gain firework beads are expensive. That's why I only use 1/4 of a cup per load. I also wait to purchase the beads in bulk when Target has their $10 gift card promotion sale, and occasionally I find them on sale in Lowe's or at the Home Depot. I'm removing the gloves now because my hands were getting pretty sweaty, and of course I'm giving them a good wash similar to what I did with the gloves on. I want to finish the mashed potatoes and store the sweet potato souffle and bread pudding in the fridge, and I also want to package both of them up to take to Mom's tomorrow, which is Thanksgiving. Cracked pepper, salt, and ground pepper, but forgot to add the garlic salt. By this time, though, I was pretty tired and I made a few more mistakes that day. Cleaning the mixer and storing it away, I packaged up Mom's items and organized the fridge. I also washed dishes for a second time and prepped my bread for tomorrow's cornbread dressing. As you can see, I'm washing the mixer attachments again because the second mixing bowl is much smaller than the first one. And when you use it, food flies all over the place because this clear attachment doesn't fit it. This load, though, wasn't as bad as the first load, and definitely not as bad as tomorrow's load of dishes will be. Cooktop a good clean to prep it for tomorrow. I also wiped down the double ovens and the microwave, but forgot to record it. After wiping down these counters with Clorox wipes, I want to get started on my bread for my cornbread dressing tomorrow. I also need to finish the dishes and laundry. load is dry and I want to fold them and put them away, my last load for this evening will be the load of whites, which means I'll only have one load to do tomorrow. Our buttermilk biscuits are done, so we now need to prepare the cornbread. I like mixing both of these in my cornbread dressing, as you'll see tomorrow when I prepare it. As you can see, it's late in the evening, but I want to finish this load as well as the 2 remaining loads of laundry in the washer and dryer. Once that's done, as well as the cornbread, I'm calling it a night, and we'll start again tomorrow. In my last video, I did a lot so I wouldn't have so much to do on Thanksgiving Day, but boy, was I wrong. Our cornbread is done, and once it cooled, I crumbled it together with my buttermilk biscuits and stored overnight. It's the next day, and I'm starting my load of laundry as mentioned earlier. Also, if you've been with my channel for a while, you know I wash towels on Thursday, and Thanksgiving was this past Thursday. Now that we have our laundry started, I'm going to prep the veggies for the cornbread dressing, get my macaroni noodles going for the mac and cheese, and skin the carrots that I forgot to skin yesterday. I cut the carrots short before skinning them, so I had to use corn holders to get a good grip on them. cut up the turkey to go into my cornbread dressing. Now I'm preparing the bread by adding the seasoning. After adding the turkey, egg whites, veggies, seasonings, and chicken broth, stir well and pour into a prepared dish. Bake at 350 degrees for 55 minutes. We're now starting on our mac and cheese. After draining the noodles, I want to add the butter, seasonings, milk, cheese, and eggs. You then want to top with any remaining cheese and place in the oven at 350 degrees for 35 minutes. And again, I'll have all recipes linked in my description box in case you're interested. Our little towels are dry and we're going to fold them and put them away. I'm only going to do this one load today, so after this I can finish cooking and enjoy the rest of the evening with my family. Once I store these towels away, we're going to check on the mac and cheese and cornbread dressing. Everything turned out great, even with the mishaps, and it was so good. If you made it this far in the video, I want to thank you for watching Sissy Spaces. And as always, if you enjoyed today's video, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button and share this channel with your family and friends. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.